Oh, hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. I think I'm live now. Yeah, I am. Oh my goodness. So, there's a lot of you on here already, and you're all been chatting. Right, first thing I want to say before I say anything else, I don't know if she's here yet, but thank you, Silver Moon Warrior, for becoming a member. And Silver Moon Warrior is a new member, but she's not a new watcher, viewer, not a new subscriber. So thank you ever so much for that. I really appreciate that. Okay, let's have a little look at everyone who's here. Chumba, are you behaving? Angela, hi Angela. Hi David, no banter tonight, no banter tonight. No, David's being strict tonight. Hi Maltese. Hi Shelley. Hi Joanne. Oh gosh, so you've been doing quite a bit of chatting, haven't you? Daisy May. Hi Daisy May. Joe H, please don't be sorry for oversharing. I think it's really nice that this is a community where you feel that you can share. You're not the only one that's shared things, and that is lovely. I think that people feel that they can do that and they don't. And we feel for you, so don't worry about oversharing. And you're saying there's much more serious personal issues for people. Well, everybody's issue is serious. I was worrying the other day just about the computer or whatever. In that moment, everything's serious. It's a serious issue if it's affecting you. So David's laying down the law tonight. Everyone's got to behave. No, not an attention seeker, Joe, please. Right, I'm carrying on going down. Now, anybody talking about the weather? Oh my goodness, it's positively almost cold here. No, it's not cold, but it's 37 degrees now on my computer. But we were saying it is so different today from how it has been. It's just still boiling hot, don't get me wrong. It's still, you still won't, well, I wouldn't want to go out like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But I walked up to the supermarket this morning. It wasn't too bad in the shade at about 9:30, as long as you managed to walk in the shade. It was quite breezy and it was not too bad. That's the first time for ages. So yeah, it's still hot, but it's definitely a few degrees. Thing is, when you go so hot as it has been, even going down to 30 odd degrees feels cooler. I know that it's pouring down in the UK still, isn't it, apparently? And you've got storms and things. Oh. Right. Hi, Princess. So there's a little bit of banter going on between David and Chumbra as usual. As you've all been chatting. So David's dog is sitting. Yeah, because you've got the XL bullies, haven't you? Chumba. Oh, Chumba's uncontrollable. Hi, Maltese. Joe H. Yeah, it's raining. Yeah. Chumba and David were a bit, they were getting a bit carried away the other day. I think David's in a, what's the word? He's going to be good tonight. Hi, Vicky. Oh God, people got their cardigans out, umbrellas, winter puffer out. Well, I had a winter puffer on when I went to St. Michael's. I still haven't showed you that silly, the video that I made when I took it upside down. I might do that tonight. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Shelley. Joanne Kirtley. Hi. The worst summer. But you had good weather early on, didn't you, Vicky? You had good weather early on was it in June? Hi, Rio. Hi, Tina. Hi, Charlie Angel. Hi, Catherine. Awful weather in Cheshire. Oh, raining in Canada even. So there you go. I think it's only Spain that it's not raining. Okay, I think I've said hello to everybody who's here so far. So thank you for being here. You're all here before me. Yeah, David's blaming you, Chumba and Princess. Hi, David Barry. Well, David, to be perfectly honest, I came out here obviously because I like the sun, otherwise I wouldn't be here. But after being here 25 years, you do get fed up of the sun. And I loved the rain then when I went to Manchester and it rained 13 days or whatever that I was there. I loved it, but that's how it is. So hi, Sarah Penton Stewart. So yeah, you do get sick of the sun. You get so sick of it, you can't imagine. It's just like probably in the UK how you do, and you look out the window, you think, oh my God, it's raining again. I look out the window and I think, oh my God, it's still sunny. I look forward to the rain. Where I live, it's sunny 300 days out of the year. 300 days out of the year it's sunny. So, and unfortunately, when it does rain, it's quite often rain a bit like, torrential rain. It's not rain that you can't do anything. You literally can't walk out of the door. But Charlie knows. Charlie's in Spain, a different part of Spain from me. But now, funnily enough, this year it has been odd this year, because it was actually really cold right up to June. It was cold and raining. And I saw some Facebook posts and things that I'd shared or made, and oh, thank God the sun's out, saying thank God the sun's out. So I was looking forward to the sun coming out. But, after a while, you've had enough of it. Hi, Carla. Okay, so thank you to Silver Moon Warrior for becoming a member. Thank you to all of you that have become members. Thank you to all of you that are subscribed, all of you that like my videos. Don't forget to like. And all of you, I know quite a few of you shared my videos. If you're new to my channel, there may be some people watching now thinking, what the hell is all this about? And the sort of videos this is Vicky Marie Chats. I just chat about all different things, true crime, what's going on in the news. I mean, really anything that comes up that I find interesting and I think that my chatters might find interesting. So it's a bit of a rogue channel. I was thinking about that. I was thinking my channel, it's like there's a bit of everything. It's not just one thing. I try and do sort of a mixture of everything. Things come up. There's just not enough hours in the day for the videos that I'd quite like to make. Today I was thinking I'd like to make a video about the misogynist Andrew Tate, because I've been watching that, and I'd like to do a video on that. I've still got videos that I'd like to do about lots of different cases, crime cases. Tomorrow, but Sunday, you'll be glad to know, those of you who follow me, tomorrow I will be doing a serial killer Sunday, back to serial killer Sunday. I haven't decided which one to do yet, but you will find out in the morning. Again, unfortunately, there's so many to choose from. It's Kate here from the Cook Islands. Gosh, I just love this diversity of where people come from on my channel. I absolutely love that. Chumba, I'm not putting you on the naughty step, and do you know why? Because I think you quite like it. So if I put you on the naughty step, you'll just do it even more. So I'm not putting you on the naughty step. I'm using reverse psychology and hoping that'll make you behave. Okay. So yeah, now I have done quite a lot of videos on Nicola Bulley, obviously, because that was the big sort of case that was sort of dominating the UK for a while, but it captured the imagination of the world. That's why there's people on here from the Cook Islands and Canada and America, etc. And tonight, that's what we're going to be looking at. Oh, let me just do a little bit of housekeeping. So, yeah, you know, one thing you'll find, if you're watching this channel now and it's the first time you've watched it and you're thinking, oh, she's waffling, you'd best just click off, because this is what I always do. So it's just part of what I am. Sometimes there's a bit of waffle. I get sidetracked with a comment or hygiene, Nadine, or I get sidetracked, you know, with something. So you've got to be aware of that sometimes I will go off on different tangents. And most of the people who watch my channel, they watch it because they don't mind that, or they even quite enjoy that. So just to let you know, if you're looking for something that's like incisive and precise, and you know, my channel's not for you. Oh, thank you, Shelley. I think most people do. That's why they watch me. So I'm happy. I'm so grateful, because my channel is just growing sort of gradually, and I like that. So every day I get 5 or 10 more subscribers. More emails each day. You know, people can always send me an email. I've had some lovely emails again. People send me photos of the bench, because we're going to talk about the bench, etc. Sending me photos, sending me videos with other suggestions about other cases or things that they find interesting. You know, it's Joanne, typing too fast, I know, but you know what? Hi, Lady Dog Lover. What I hate is the high pie in the sky. What I hate about typing things is the predictive text, because sometimes I type in Spanish as well. So when I'm trying to type something up Spanish, depending on which phone I'm using or the computer or whatever, it doesn't like it. So it starts trying to make an English word out of the Spanish word. Oh, so I don't like the predictive text. Yes, Carla's from Soham. I'm going to go to Soham one day and do an on location from there. And that's a good idea. Yeah, wave and say where you're from. I like to know. Gina's from Brighton. Oh, thank you, David. Well, I think I am empathetic. Can't even say it. Empathetic. Why have you given me a word I can't say? Hi, Maya. Sometimes that's not a good thing. Sometimes it is a good thing. Most of the time, I'm glad that I am, because I like to feel how people feel. But sometimes, obviously, it's quite sad, because I can get really upset about things. Yeah, we have a few on from Wales, don't we? Rio, Daisy's from Kent, David's from HA. What does HA mean? Yeah, and what makes this channel good, I think, is exactly the subs and the chatters, because everyone's so nice to each other. Oh, Tina's from Bury, yeah. Well, as you know, I know Bury really well. We've got RS6. Yeah, it's the chatters that make it. Oh, thank you, Ruth. Cleethorpes, yeah. That just shows you that it's a little, look, Riley's getting to be a little, he's loving it now. He's every time now he's coming up to say hello. Are you going to say hello? Are you going to say hello? Come on, you've got to move over this way. Riley's really getting into it now. He wants to always get on the camera. Rocky doesn't seem bothered, my other little one. Hi, Mark from Kings Lynn, Norfolk. I've never been to Norfolk. Oh my gosh. Charlie, make it sound really sort of glamorous that I've got an international following. That's lovely. I love the thought of that. Oh, look at this boy. Look at this boy. Come on, put your head up. Put your head up. Are you going to put your head up? He's been a bit spooked tonight. Charlie will understand. understand this. It's been a bit spooked because we've had bangers going off for whatever reason. What is going on? I don't think there's any fiestas going on. Might have been well, it can't even be a football match because it's there's no football matches at the moment. But in Spain, they let off these bangers whenever anything's going on, like if their football team score, and it's just like that. And so the dogs have been a little bit spooked. Oh, there you go, Pie in the Sky from deepest, darkest Canada, Milton Keynes. I've never, Princess, actually been to Cleethorpes, to be honest. Oh yeah, NB is where you live, Shelley, and people get it confused with NB for Nicola Bulley. So there you go, I've got sidetracked again. Right, I'm going to stop reading the chat. It comes to a point where I have to stop reading it because if I don't, I just keep going on about it. Oh, a plugin that calms your dogs and cats. Yeah, could definitely do with that. Because when the fiestas are going on, like our fiestas for where I live are in September. That will be just mad. There'll be bangers going off all the time. Okay. So yeah, thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. I've had quite a lot of people join the channel. The membership has grown. Thank you for that, because that's a way that you can help support my channel. You can also buy me a coffee, or you can send a super chat or a super thanks, etc. And what was the other thing? Oh, PayPal. See, I'm looking at the chat again. I'm too nosy. You know, that's the problem with me, is I should be just looking at the camera and just getting on with what I'm doing. But every now and again, I'm like that because I'm too nosy. I'm worrying about what I might be missing. Okay, so I'm going to put one of the banners up for the Ko-fi because I'm supposed to remember to change these every now and again, but I never remember. But anyway, right, let's get going. So it's the Benchgate, isn't it? Oh gosh, because anyone who was watching my live last night that went on for nearly 2 hours, I think that's probably the longest live I've ever done. And I suffered it feels a bit better now, my throat. But this morning, oh my God, I suffered for it because from the minute I got up, sorry, see, I'm looking again. Stop it, Vicky, stop it. I might have to even hide the chat so that I don't look to it because I'm like, oh, too nosy. Yeah, I suffered for the chat this morning because when I woke up, I had this tickle in my throat, but actually it feels okay now. Might be to do with the fact that I am drinking a little bit of whiskey at the moment. Just, I hardly ever, oh, Carla, thank you for that super sticker. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's very much appreciated. Thank you. So don't drink whiskey. There are 2 times when I drink whiskey. One is if I've got a sore throat, and the other one is if I go on an aeroplane normally, because whiskey sort of calms me down, like more than, you know, I mean, I don't drink a bottle of whiskey, but just to have it, I'm drinking whiskey and ginger, and I do have ice in it. And I know a lot of people think that I had a Scottish boyfriend many years ago who told me that the only thing you should drink with whiskey is more whiskey. I can't do that. I mean, I can sometimes, or maybe whiskey with ice, but anyway, so that's what I'm drinking at the moment. So cheers. Right, so last night when we were doing the live, which was actually about Alison Armour, now when I went to St Michael's and I took some footage of the bench, etc., you know, I didn't realise it would. I just didn't notice, because obviously I didn't have in my head the picture of the bench as it was in January, and it's only when people pointed it out, when I put like the footage up, and people said, "Oh, it doesn't even look like the same. It doesn't even look like the same bench." And when I've looked back over it, it doesn't look like the same bench. So lots of people very nicely sent me pictures of the bench. Someone who'd been there, someone who was on the chat last night, sent me some photos. They were there at the inquest in June, so they were there around about the 26th of June. They sent me their photos. I've looked at photos. I've got some photos here from, you know, right back when it happened in January, and it does look different, but I don't think it is different, and I'll show you why. I think it's just been painted, maybe. But let's have a look. Because the bench is like iconic, isn't it? Even though I personally don't feel that Nicola was there that morning. Why? I really don't. And I still cannot see how she ended up in that river by accident. Someone has got to show me that there's a reason why they think that. To me, there's no way that she was in there by accident. The only way she fell in from that bench is, I don't think it was any, you know, is if she was pushed in, if she jumped in, or if she jumped in there on purpose because somebody was chasing her or whatever. I just don't see it. So that's what we're going to look at. But first of all, let me just show you the pictures I've got of the bench. That'd be the way to start. All right, let me see. So let me get these up. Okay, so I think you can see these pictures, yeah. So let's look at this one. Now, this is one that shows clearly the 23, because there's been a lot of talk about the 23, isn't there, on the back of the bench. Now we can clearly see 23 is engraved into the back of the bench here. And this is one that was taken in June, around the time of the inquest. So we can see it's very green. You know, you can see that it's not it's not in January. And there is clearly a 23. The bench looks a little bit weathered, etc. Now, let me see. What's the next one I've got? This is one that shows that somebody sent me. It's not very clear, that one, but it does show that there's a plaque here on the bench, which is still there. I'll show you later. And then this very strange sort of engraved thing, which I'm not actually quite sure what that's supposed to be. Anybody know what that's supposed to be? Now, what I would really, really like to know, if anybody does know, if anybody lives near St. Martin's on Wye and maybe St. Michael's on Wye and can maybe go, or maybe they know anyway, are there other benches? You know, so I'm thinking about this 23. What is the significance of number 23? Is it the 23rd bench that's been put there by the council? I mean, I think next week I am, if nobody comes up with an answer for me about that, I think I'm going to have to actually contact the council. But I don't know if they'll tell me or whatever. I mean, they'll probably think I'm just another nutter, like, sure they've found lots of emails from people that they think we're all mad, don't they, on social media. But it's a genuine question. Is that bench number 23 because it's the 23rd bench? You know, that I presume, I don't know if the council has got benches all along that river. I mean, that's a long river. So if they've got benches all along that river, are those benches all numbered and that one just happens to be 23? Or is there a bigger significance? This is the thumbnail that I made. So we can see this is the bench again from the person who was there. they come on here. It's for Tayan. I don't think they're on here tonight, but they were on in the live last night. And they went to the inquest and they came along here and took some photo. I'm so annoyed with myself that I didn't actually just take normal photos. I was too busy doing the video footage and I wasn't actually even really thinking of the bench. So you can see my photo up there. It's a completely different colour. It's definitely been varnished, hasn't it? It's been varnished. However, I do think it is the same bench because the plaque on it to Barbara Roscoe is exactly the same. So this is the actual picture just of the bench. So you can see it's very weathered. Now, take notice of the paving stones underneath. So the bench is on like a plinth of paving stones. So let's carry on. So this was the now you can see this is from my footage now because this is actually dated 18th of July 2023 at 14:58:35. I took this photo of the plaque. So this is the same plaque that is on all the other pictures of the bench. So it's definitely the same bench, unless, you know, if you believe in conspiracy theories enough to think that they actually took the plaque off and put it onto another bench. And I don't believe that. I think just basically the bench has been varnished. So it'd be interesting to know who this lady was. I don't know if you know, but normally you can pay for a plinth to go on a bench in your local park or someplace. Probably Barbara liked to come here with her dog or just to walk by the river. And she was born in 1918 and she died in 1998. She was 80 years old. So, you know, she had a good life. Not if you're 79, you won't be thinking that. If you're anything like my dad, I remember him years ago, he'd always say he'd be reading the obituaries out of the Manchester Evening News, and he'd say, oh, such and such has died, and I'd say, oh, how old were they? And he'd say like 69 or whatever. And of course, me being a teenager at the time, I think, oh my God, well, they were ancient anyway. But my dad would say, oh, they were only young. They were only 69. And I used to think only young. But of course, as you get nearer to that age, you think, oh, no, that's still young. So I'm sure for people who are 79, 80 doesn't seem that old. But yeah, so it'd be interesting to know about this lady, wouldn't it? Maybe I need to look at who was Barbara Roscoe. Anyway, that's just one of my things that I go off on a tangent. So this is, you know, taken. It's not a photo because I've taken it from the footage that I gave of the bench, and you can see it. Yes, it is. It's ever so shiny. It's definitely been varnished. And if you look at the back here where the 23 was, I know it's not very, you know, because I didn't go right up to the thing, but I didn't notice any 23. And what makes me think is maybe I didn't notice it. I meant to look at it specifically, and then I just got distracted as usual with something else, and I didn't go right up to the back of it. But you can see there's not really. I wonder if I can focus in on it. Maybe, yeah. You know, there's maybe a little indentation in there. But you know, sometimes when things are varnished, painted, you know, that inscription of 23, it could easily sort of get less easy to see, couldn't it? Oh yeah, interesting. Again, that's the same picture or similar. Yeah. See, I was more concentrating. Oh gosh, I could kick myself now because I was more concentrating on how ridiculous it was to think that someone could fall from here into there. And you know, this is all foliage now. I know it was in January, there wasn't all that greenery, etc. but it's just so far away, and it confirmed, I was more concentrating on that, not really concentrating on the bench. I mean, in some ways, it doesn't matter about the bench, does it? It doesn't matter if they've changed the bench, if they've painted the bench. It doesn't matter. It's just something that people were inquiring about. And of course, this 23 thing, this numerology thing. So again, yeah, maybe there's a little indentation there. But it does look very different, doesn't it? Yeah, so I was more concentrating on the actual plaque. You can see that the one, yeah. See, this is still there, but you can hardly see it now. You see the difference between this engraving here. Now that it's been painted, you can hardly see it. Whereas in the previous, let's see if I can. Yeah, here, see how clear it is on this one. Even, from a distance, when the bench was weathered, you could see this indentation very clearly. But when I came to go there, after it had been painted, the indentation, it's visible, but it's not as clear as it was, and that's because of the varnish, I think. Yeah, there's you 23 on the back. Just seems so clear there, and I think it's to do with the varnishing. I think the bench has been varnished, and I think that these paving stones at the back of. So did they pick up the bench to varnish it underneath or whatever? I'm surprised nobody sort of noticed that, or didn't. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? Right, I'm coming back now to the chat to see what people think. The pictures are still small. Oh, sorry, you can't see any of my photos. Right. How strange. Oh, well, I was going into them. Right, let me try and work out what to do with that. So I've been doing all that talking and nobody could see. Let's see. Exit. Let's see how we can. Okay, Sue, sorry. Right, let me try again then. I wonder why. Right, you can see that one, I would imagine. Yeah, so you can see that one clearly, yeah? Let me just go back and make sure you can. You can see that. Yeah. Good. Right, let me go back to it then. Oh, this is what I thought I was doing before, but obviously it wasn't. Right, this is an old picture of the bench. Oh God, I've stopped sharing now. Hang on, let me go back. Oh gosh, so complicated. Right, where's that other one gone? So that was the 23 that I showed you. This is the front. Let's see, can you see that more clearly? No, it's not coming up, is it? Hang on. Right, let's try again. So can you see that front of the, yes, you can see the front of the bench now. So this is the bench as it was in June, 26th of June. So you can see this sort of strange carving above the plaque very clearly, can't you? Let me just make sure. Going into, yeah, you can see now. Yeah. You can see the bigger pictures now. So again, this was from June, so you can see the plaque at the centre, you can see the strange engraving up at the top. It's very clear, isn't it? I think it's the fact that the bench is weathered that makes it clear. And whereas, if I can hopefully, I'm hoping this will just be easy. Whereas when I go on to my footage, let's try that. Let's see. No, it's still showing the wrong one. Gosh. Oh, I know what I can share maybe better. Right, hang on. Give me a moment. Oh dear. Right, let's try this. Let's try this. Oh my God. Not good at showing photos, am I? Hi, Jim. Hi, Pauline. Hi, Eleanor. Right. So I'm glad you're all chatting between yourselves because I'm making a total miserable failure of. Why can't you do it? Just never does what you want it to do. It won't show it as big. Right. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, we can see that one. This is a picture sent from June with the 23 clearly on the back there. So clear. So clear. And what I'm saying is, I would like to know if anybody who lives locally there, or I would have to try and find out myself, why is 23 on the back of that bench? Are there just a series of benches along the river that are all numbered and this just happens to be number 23? Or is there a special significance with number 23? You know, so Okay, now I am going to try and show you the where am I? So let's see if that's coming up. Oh, why is that not coming up? Okay. This is, yeah, there you go. That's coming up. This is the bench as it is now, or as it was when I went and took my footage of the bench. So it's completely different. It's not weathered. It's been varnished, definitely. And I think that's why at the back there you can't really see the 23. I'm sure it's still there because this is definitely the same bench because it has, see if I can get onto it or not. It has the plaque for Barbara Roscoe on it, and that is the same plaque that the bench had when it's been taken. Look, in let me just make sure you can see it before us. Yeah, in loving memory of Barbara Roscoe. So this is what I was trying to say. This plaque has been polished up a little bit as the bench has been varnished, but it's the same plaque that was there here on this. If you can see this, which I think you can, and if I go into it a bit, you maybe. Oh, I think you can just make out. I can, whether you can on there. But it's the same plaque. It's the plaque to Barbara Roscoe. But obviously, look at the state of the bench. It's weathered. It's been sat on many, many times. Yeah, do you think that they've painted it because now suddenly? I mean, they haven't. That's not just 1 year that bench hasn't been varnished. That bench hasn't been varnished for years and years and years. So suddenly they've varnished it like this now. This is what it looks like now, the bench. So they haven't just varnished that, they haven't varnished that every year. It didn't go from being like that to being like that in 1 year. They've probably never varnished that bench, and now probably because it is a little bit of a celebrity place now, isn't it? That's good. They have varnished it, and they can say what they like about criticize. Oh, how much it's cost the Lancashire Police, how much it's cost the council, to lay on all this extra security for the inquest and blah de blah de blah. But how much more money has gone into that community, that tiny little village? How, especially in the early days when all the reporters were there and the social media people were there and whoever was there, how much money were they putting into that community? Buying things, having meals, staying in hotels locally. So, they're just talking a load of rubbish, really, complaining that it's cost them money. It hasn't cost them money. They just focused on that. It was just like a way of sort of scapegoating people. So yeah, so basically this is how the bench was in June. I mean, this was June, so it's not that long ago. And this is how it is now. And I didn't even notice because I wasn't sort of carrying that image around with me of the bench. I was more concerned about looking at the distance from the bench to how I knew that nobody could fall in the river, and that was just confirmed by going there. And then, it was only because putting the footage on that people commented, oh my God, that looks like a different bench. That's what's made us aware of it. But it looks like a different bench, but it's not a different bench. This was the bench in June. Presumably it was similar to that in January as well. I have got some other pictures somewhere, but I don't know. That's the back of the bench. And it's gone from being that sort of, totally weathered bench. Now it's been painted and it's all sort of nice. And I'm really annoyed with myself that I didn't notice it, but I actually didn't. And also something that I want to point out here, the paving stones at the back of the bench here. So this is all just soil under the bench. Where's the paving stones? When you look at the bench, see there's no paving stones at the back. There's these paving stones at the front. But I'm sure, let's have a look. Yeah, when you look at the previous photos, there's more paving stones. Here, look. Gosh, there was another photo I had that was better than that. Let me just see, of the paving stones anyway. Downloads. Yeah. Camera roll. Yeah. Let's see if you can see this. Camera roll. No, it's not coming up. Come on. No. I'm gonna have to stop sharing and then go on to that. Yeah, if you look at this picture, let me just check you can see it. You should be able to see it. I know it's not brilliant. I'll try and make it bigger. There's paving stones right around the bench. And this is a picture with the mobile on the bench. I don't know that that was Nicola's mobile or if somebody had just put it there. I don't know if that's the original picture or not. I don't know. So I'm not saying that was Nicola's mobile. That is just a mobile on the beach. Maybe that somebody put it there just for the photo. Because it's not my photo, this is somebody else's photo. But what the thing I'm interested in is you can see that the paving stone, that's like a little sort of plinth, if you like. The paving stones go right around the beach, don't they? But if you look at my footage, yeah, see that you've got it's almost a rectangle of paving stones around that. But if I then go on to look at the footage that I took, again, just go on to it, you can see that actually the paving stones at the rear, let's see, the paving stones at the rear have gone. There's only these paving stones at the front, and the paving stones at the rear have completely disappeared. So somebody has been messing with the bench, basically. I'm surprised nobody took any photo footage of it, because at the end of the day, it is important. Right from the beginning, that bench should really have been considered a crime scene, shouldn't it? It should have been treated as a crime scene, because we don't know, when Nicola first disappeared and it became apparent that something strange had happened, because she just disappeared out of nowhere and her dog had come running up. And one thing I do want to say is there's a few cases over the years that I've looked at, and not as an interested observer, not as before I started my crime channel. And when the dog comes running up lost like that and women have disappeared, there's normally foul play. There's normally foul play. Charlie, I agree. The bench was probably moved for refurbishment. It was probably moved, the paving stones were taken up and it was painted. But it's strange that nobody noticed that. I don't know. Strange. Hi, Lucia. Yeah. Now, I actually do read tarot cards myself. I stopped doing tarot cards, just a bad experience that I had, which is a bit of a long story. So I've got an open mind about tarot cards. Well, I do believe in them, but you know, it's difficult, isn't it? Maybe one day I should do a tarot reading for this. I really do feel in my heart that something's going to come out about this. So there's something that's going to come out. I do feel that, but you know what? It's only a feeling. I have no evidence. I have no evidence. But a tarot card, the thing about tarot cards is they can only guide you. Really, if you're psychic in some way or shape or form, you don't really need tarot cards. You could do it without tarot cards, but tarot cards just help because they just give you you're instinctively drawn towards the cards and they just give you a guide. And it's a more visual thing, because if you're just saying to someone, oh, this is gonna, well, you can never predict the future with tarot cards. That's something that I want to point out. You cannot predict the future because there's always free will. If I do a tarot card reading for someone, which I haven't done for a long, long time because of a bad experience that I had, they've got their free will as well. So all you can do is you give someone a tarot card reading and you're just saying to them, look, these are possibilities. Now that person has got to make a decision. I do believe that in life there is a way that you're supposed to go, but you don't always take it. So you do a tarot card reading for someone, there's no point in you saying to someone, oh, well, no, you shouldn't take that job. You can do the tarot card reading. There's bad things come. What would happen if I took that job? And bad things come up, or not good cards come up. So basically, really, they probably should not take that job. But at the end of the day, that person's got a free will, and they'll probably turn around and think, oh no, I really want to take that job because it's really good money, or it's near where my mum lives, or it's I'm likely to meet a lot of nice men there or whatever. So you can't account for people's free will. So when you're doing a tarot card reading, it's not an exact science. That's why I could never be a psychic for a living or anything, even though sometimes I get feelings, because people want clarity. They want absolutes. They want to, and there are no absolutes. Just like in life, there are no absolutes. I read a really good book when I was in Manchester that my niece let me read, and it was about choices. It was called The Midnight Library. I don't know if anyone's read it, but it's really interesting because it's about someone who decided that they'd had enough of life for whatever reason. They felt that they'd made all the wrong decisions in their life. And so they actually deleted themselves and they went to a place, to a library, where they could choose. They had one last chance to see what their life, because they had so many regrets about, like, oh, my life would have been different if I would have. We all feel that, don't we? We all feel that. Think, oh, if only I would have done that instead of this, or if only I would have chosen them instead of them. And this person in this book went to this library, I suppose it's just like a in between life and death sort of place. And the librarian gave them the chance to actually pick these regrets, pick out the things that they regretted, and actually go back to what would have had, a bit like sliding doors, that sort of thing. Go back to the life they would have had if they would have made that decision instead of that one. And I don't want to tell you what happened in the end, because you might want to read it, but it's called The Midnight Library. I can't remember who the author was. But it's a very good book, because it makes you really, there's a futility in regret. regret is pointless. I've regretted a million things in my life, and there's many things, many things that I think, oh, maybe if I wouldn't have come to Spain, when my father died and my mum had dementia, maybe I should have stayed and looked after her. Maybe I should have done this. Maybe I should have done that. It's so pointless. It's completely futile because you didn't do it. So whether it were, and this book sort of really makes this clear, that how futile regrets are, because you just can't change things, and it may not have been any different even if you had done something different. Do you see what I'm saying? Hi Forte, and there's a lot of things that we don't understand. And do you do tarot cards, Vicky? Yeah, I haven't done them for many years. I do have tarot cards and I do know how to do it. Lucia, read the book. It's very, very good. The Midnight Library. It's a very, very good book. And I would read Hi Sleepy Sandy. Sometimes you just know things, but you can't explain them. And for anyone who does tarot, we've ended up talking about tarot cards, which is just typical, but of how things can go on a tangent. Tarot cards can help you guide, it's all, but it all depends what you believe. You can use tarot cards, are a good tool. I think they are a good tool. I'm always a little bit funny about tarot cards and people who don't know. Oh, I don't know. Like online, there's a reason. I probably need to tell you a little bit about. I feel like I'm waffling on even more than normal because I'm sort of trying to move away from telling the actual story. But I was put off tarot cards because my ex-partner, who ended up deleting himself, when I moved back to our house, I found that he had been ringing all these tarot card lines, trying to find out what was. And when I say, ring it, I suppose now you do it online, but then there was no online, so it was phone calls, and it was a lot of money. He'd spent about £800 on ringing these premium rate tarot cards, trying to find out if we were ever going to get back together or not. And the thing is, when we were actually together and I was doing tarot card readings and things, he didn't believe in any of it. He poo-pooed all of it. It was like, oh, what a load of rubbish, blah, 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 blah. And I found it quite sad that then when we split up, he was actually, spending so much money ringing tarot card lines because he was so desperate for us to get back together. So that's what put me off. So since then, I won't say I've never done a tarot card reading since then, but it did put me off big time. But tarot cards cannot tell you, they can tell you, let's suppose, so you've got to think of the clearest thing in your mind. Like, should I take that new job? Yeah, you've got a job offer and you don't know, you're umming and ahhing because you quite like the job you're in, but this job's better because it's more money, but maybe it's a little bit further away to travel, or you're not because it's what you don't know. So you go for a tarot card reading, you want a clear answer. You want those tarot cards to say to you, yes, you should take the job, or no, you shouldn't take the job. And they don't really do that. They'll give you an impression, they'll give you an impression, and it's not only the tarot cards, it's the person who's reading the tarot cards. Really, they're the ones that are doing it. The tarot cards are just giving a guide, and it's the person that's actually reading the tarot cards that is getting it's an intuition. People sort of, it's only like any intuition that people have. People talk about hunches, and it's only like that. It's an intuition because you're an empath. If you're an empath and you're sensitive to atmosphere and people's thoughts, you can sense those things. but it can't give you like an exact answer to a question. It can only give you a guide. Hi, Dadsong Fraser. Hi, Bam Bam. That book is called The Midnight Library. The Midnight Library. I don't know its by, but I suppose I could look it up here while we're online. Let me have a look. Very good book about regret. And honestly, if you've ever regretted things in your life, which I think we all have, after you've read this book, it will help. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's Matt Haig. Now, you may have heard of Matt Haig because my niece seemed to think. Let's have a look at Matt Haig. Right, I can share this. I know how to share this quite easily. So this is Matt Haig who's written this book, and it's this one, The Midnight Library. I haven't read, I don't know, maybe the other books are good as well, I don't know, but this book, it is good. So it's a truly captivating and thought-provoking novel that delves deep into the complexities of life, regrets. Life regrets. Where's it gone? Oh, where's the description? Anyway, life and regrets, let's say. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that book. And that, funnily enough, you know, I like it when people recommend a book to me because I'm a person who I always find it hard to I love reading and I love books, but I find it hard to choose books. So I like it when somebody else recommends me a book because then I read it and it's a, you know, that book I would never have chosen it probably. I get a bit sort of, I don't know which books. I always end up reading the same books, which are normally about serial killers or something. You know, I like Tess Gerritsen and all those sort of crime novels, detective novels. So that particular book, The Midnight Library, I probably never would have even thought of buying. Or so when my niece recommended it to me while I was there, and I read it while I was in the UK, and you know, in 2 weeks I read it. Well, less than that. Audible, yeah, Audible is good. I like listening to things actually as well. I'm more a listener than a watcher now. Ah, Lucia. So Tess Gerritsen book that has a similar story to the Nicola Bulley story. I can't think of one. Yeah, Rebecca. I like the classics as well. Like Rebecca, I like Shakespeare. I love reading Shakespeare. You know, there's a lot more. There's a lot more. There's so much in Shakespeare, isn't there? Once you get past the flowery language and everything, there's so much about characters and personalities, and you know, I need to sort of. That's one thing I miss about living in the UK is going to the theatre, especially Manchester. Oh, right. So I'm missing some of this. What lies beneath here with the. So 411 saying, what's I've missed something here now in the chat, I think. Oh, you're back to flirting again now. So obviously David's wife's not around. I like reading also. Hi, Bad Fairy. Yeah, it's a really good book, Silver Moon Warrior. If you like reading, I would definitely recommend it. Hi, Phaedra. Oh, well, don't even go there about the police dog. The more I think about that, do you know, if anyone can, I know that German Shepherds can attack other people sometimes, but I've never known of a German Shepherd that has attacked its own handler. So, not, I know that there are one person dog, one man dog, one whatever dog. I know that. But for them to actually attack their own owner, for me, I think that's really strange. I know they could be aggressive towards somebody else, and I don't care what anyone says. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. So you just wonder, are they just so incompetent, this police force? Even their dog, and I hope the dog handler is okay. Like, because people can come at you and say, "Oh, well, the dog handler's ill," in hospital. I wish no ill will towards the dog handler. I hope she recovers. Don't want her not to recover. It's not. It's not like because I want her to die or anything. I just want to know what actually happened and why did that dog attack its handler? Maybe they weren't close enough. Maybe she wasn't experienced enough. Maybe something happened. Something happened. No, I feel like I've missed something else because 411, you were asking someone. All right, let me go back down to the bottom. I don't like to miss things. Yeah, definitely more to the story. Definitely. We'll never find out, I expect. Something. Yeah, no, so I don't blame you, Joanne Martin. I really don't blame you because something's wrong there. When a dog, as I say, I think they can become aggressive towards other people. It's normal because if they, there'll be a reason, but they'll be protecting their owner normally. And I know, I mean, they can bite. I know that, but for me, I've never heard of a dog turn on a German Shepherd, a GSD, or it was a Belgian Malinois, turn on its own owner or handler or whatever you want to call it. I've never ever heard of that. So, um, oh. Oh, Bam Bam, that looks interesting. Mum, can you lend me 20 quid? Yeah, that's a whole nother video to do. People are dealing with their children that have got those sort of issues. Nightmare. Luke Mitchell's story. No, somebody pointed that out. It might have been you. Somebody emailed me about that. But I looked into that story about Luke Mitchell. I couldn't see. I just couldn't see who else it would be. But, I don't know. Maybe that book would be interesting. Because that lad has been in prison a long time, hasn't he? Dad Song said. Yeah, Dad Song said something about someone named Corky who said something about Emma, but I've lost it. But anyway. Okay. Yeah, and Shelley, that was interesting what you said that they are. The thing is, that dog was part of the police force, and it was just shot. Imagine shooting if that was. I mean, I know some people say, "Oh, it's just a dog. It's just a dog." It's not just a dog. It's a dog that's put in 2 years of service, and it was just executed. Without any sort of inquiry about what was wrong with it or what had happened. Nobody looked at the body count. It was just executed. And they're saying, oh, I know, yeah. Well, listen, don't worry about, just ignore, Joanne, anyone making comments like that. I've just left their comments up because I like to just let them look as stupid as they sound. They can make those comments and anyone read them and just think, what an idiot. So I'd just leave them up. And yeah, was the handler actually a trained dog handler? Were they the normal handler for that dog? I'm sorry, those German Shepherd, they are attached to one person. They may be violent or maybe aggressive towards other people, or the dogs or the cats, anything, but they are rarely, if never, aggressive towards their own owner. Towards other people, maybe, but not towards their own handler. So, you know, I'm just not. I don't know. Well, we don't know, David, if it was the same one that went for Andrew Snowden. So, well, Forte, unfortunately, you did come into this chat quite late on. We had been through a lot about the bench beforehand, and now it looks like everybody's. Yeah, everybody. So, yeah, to be honest, there won't be anything because God, my dog's about. So I'm going to finish soon because I'm going to go and make my curry. You know, Saturday night is Saturday night is always curry night in my house. So, but yeah, we did look at the bench. What the conclusion we've come to is it's the same bench. It's been probably maybe even taken away and repainted because some of the paving stones have disappeared. And we showed, and thank you so much because Fortean actually sent me some nice photos. Some of those photos were from Fortean. But yeah, that's the conclusion we basically came to. Now, the 23 is a strange thing because on your photos it was as clear as anything. On the footage I took, although unfortunately I didn't go actually right up to the bench and take a photo, you cannot see it, but I think that's because of the varnishing. So that's why I think. Yes, anyway, I shouldn't say it, but whether that was the same dog that went for Andrew Snowden, it was because it really did go for him, whichever dog it was, didn't it? But the person that was controlling it was a man, and I think the handler of Jack's on that unfortunate day when it all went wrong, it was a woman. So now, was that? See, to me, I just want to know how long had that woman been in charge of Jack's? You know, if that dog, that idiot that was on before, the user person that made a comment saying, "Oh well, it could be brain degeneration, etc." The dog was 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old. So, you know, it wasn't really, you know, you wouldn't expect it to have senile dementia until it gets to at least 9 or 10. Okay, what's for I'm going to have a drink. Yeah. Okay. So I think what we know about Benchgate now is it's the same bench. It's been varnished. If anyone lives nearby, if they can just go and have a look and see if, because I could kick myself that I didn't check that the 23 was on the back. But the plaque on the front is the same. The paving stones have disappeared, definitely. The paving stones at the back. So it makes me wonder why. I think they've probably painted the bench. That bench had not been varnished for years, as you can see that. It's not something that they do every year. I've got a bench outside here and it's like, you know, if I think it can last quite a while. Mine's not maybe in the sun or whatever, but anyway, I don't think looking at that bench that was something that was done every year. I think they've done that because they know they're going to get more people going to St. Michael's and they're trying to make things look better. I would also like to know, is the 23, what is the relevance of the 23? Is it just the 23rd bench along the river? Are there other benches with other numbers on? Maybe somebody knows that. And if not, what is the relevance of the 23? Yeah, they polished up the plaque as well, Silver Moon Warrior. So, yes, please hit the likes. I can feel myself getting tired now because I'm hungry. I want my curry. So we'll find out anyway. because if nobody actually lets me know who lives nearby, I think I am going to write to the council and just ask them, and they'll either reply and say yes, the bench has been painted, and yes, we have got other benches, or they'll say no, or they just won't reply. So it's always worth a question. Yeah, I thought it might be a location number. 23, is it the 23rd? Freemasonry, I know, Princess, you believe in that. And I don't know. I'm open-minded about that. Yes, that's right. 23rd was the... Yeah, we'll look at that one day. There was a big incident, wasn't there? There's been a few big incidents at St. Michael's. Of course, a couple of years ago, it was flooded, and Prince Harry went and met everybody. Prince Harry went and went to St. Michael's to see if everybody was okay. Yeah. Yeah, she was found on the 23rd day. Okay, so I'm still getting distracted, so I'm going. So thank you so much. Please don't forget to like. Thank you, Silver Moon Warrior, for becoming a member. And also somebody sent me, let me go back up. Thank you for the super chat that I received. I'm not sure if it was a super, oh gosh, it'd be right up at the beginning, won't it? I can't remember. Oh, there it is. It was a super sticker. Thank you, Carla Parker, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate any support of my channel, as I say, whether it be the likes, the views, the shares, subscribes, becoming a member, sending a super sticker, buying me a coffee. It's very much appreciated. And not only it's what I was trying to say in the video of Mickey, the video that I made of Mickey's findings, go over to her and subscribe to her blog. Because all these things, this is what helps us keep going, because sometimes we do think, well, what's the point? It's been the inquest. You know, why are we even bothering? But when people are interested in actually watching what we've got to say, listening to what we've got to say, us doing it, the emails that I get, the comments, and not only even about, I one day I'm going to sit and read some of the emails. I obviously not mentioned any names, but actually the stories that people send me and the things that they've been through, etc. It's so amazing, and how they say thank you for doing this because it's made me think about that, or it's made me write off for the transcript of the inquest. For my ex-partner or grandmother or what, it's just unbelievable. So there's all those things, all that actual participation one way or another that makes us carry on. So thank you. But I've got, while I was just saying that, I've got 28 new comments, so I feel like I've got to go through them. Oh, no, I haven't seen the video yet of the dowsing. I can't decide about the dowsing either. You know, I can't decide if I believe in that or not. Anyway, I'm definitely going. Oh. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Kelp show. I'm not sure what you mean by big love to all milk enjoyers. But anyway, thank you. That's a strange thing to say, but thank you to everyone for all being so nice to each other as well. That's important, and for making it a safe place that people can come and chat and say things, share very personal things as well. Right, all have a good night. I'm definitely. Oh, so remember to always live and love very wisely. Varnish your bench at least once a year, and I will see you very soon in the next video. I will see you tomorrow. There'll be a serial killer Sunday. I'm not sure who it is, and I will be doing a video in the morning as well, not a live but a video. So night. Thank you everyone, and look after you, because you are the most important person, and may your God always go with you. Thank you.